All right, good morning, lovely people. Welcome back for part 3 of my brain collapsing into my spine and medical negligence that almost killed me. If you were here for part 1 and part 1.5, I apologize that I am apparently not great at technology. I'm not sure. Got a phone call, sound cut off. If you missed it, go back to my profile. I have posted the other part of part 1 if you missed the rest of that. You'll want to listen to that before you jump in for part 2. So, when I left you last, it was January 3rd, and I was at a friend's house with my ex-boyfriend and his best friend, and I had just dropped from existence. It's really odd. If you've ever had a seizure and been disembodied from yourself, you'll understand what I'm about to say. But even still, as the person that was in that moment and talking about it, it's really hard to comprehend. So, I mean no judgment in what I am about to say about addicts, and I hope that I offend none of you because I love all humans. I used to work in emergency medicine as a trauma response, and I dealt very much with humans that were in a really tough spot. So I love you. You're doing well. Keep going, right? Anyways, back to my story. So I remember in the moment being able to hear him talking to me, my ex-boyfriend. I remember hearing him say, "Babe, if you can hear me, just come back. Please don't go. If you can hear me, just come back to me. Please don't go." Just over and over and over again. But in my body, I was so mad at myself because I was like, girl, did you just overdose? Mind you, I have never. I have never partaken, okay? I don't know why my disembodied self felt like that was where I'd gone, but I was like, great. So here we are waiting for an ambulance because he tells me an ambulance is coming. He's outside, his friend, waiting for the ambulance to come. We're out in the middle of nowhere, mind you, so it's going to be a minute. We're waiting for them to get there, but just come back to me. I'm like seeing myself laying on a bed, just unwell, that I have overdosed on something, and that now I'm waiting for an ambulance to come. My mother is going to be so angry at me because, again, you know how much I love my mom. And I'm running. I am aggressively doing the windmill, the hardest I have ever windmilled in my life. If you're one of the people that's listening to this that was upset about my humor that I find in all of this, listen, it's who I am as a person. So I'm really sorry, but I'm not sorry. I am windmilling to save my life right now because I think if I just run harder, I'm going to be able to get back to him, okay? When I come to, he is obnoxiously sitting next to me saying, "Janessa, what is my name?" And I remember looking at him like, "Are you dumb?" I said, "Are you kidding?" And he said, "Just say my name." And so I did and was like, "Why wouldn't I know your name?" And he was like, "You just had a seizure. Dread." I am overcome by dread. I look down at my body and I'm literally sitting like limp. My hands are just limp in my lap. My clothes are all in disarray. And I looked at him and just started sobbing and said, "I need you to call my mom." Bless her. I am terrified because now I know of everything that I've already been dealing with, obviously, and now how I'm feeling. And I'm like, great, I don't know what's going on, but like, I'm going to die. In that moment, I truly felt that I was going to die. The amount of just dread is the only word I have for it that had overcome me was immense. He gets a hold of my mom, tells her that the ambulance is coming, and that I'm going to leave. And as he's on the phone with my mom, he's searching first and foremost because, of course, my phone is like nowhere to be found. And I'm sure it was dead because, again, that's who I am as a person. I'm sitting at 13% battery right now. I start to laugh hysterically. And I looked at him and I said, "It's going to happen again." And I can feel my hands tensing and like turning outwards and I can't stop it. I am completely out of control of my body. And I just kept saying, "It's coming. It's going to happen again." And he's like, "No, please." And I go down. Finally, the ambulance gets there. just as I am coming to, they literally take more than half an hour to get to me. As he is telling them about these seizures, I hear him tell them while they're talking to me and like trying to find out, the young lady who talked to me was lovely, trying to find out like if I feel that I can get to the stretcher, like, are you in a place that you're okay to do that? I hear him tell them that my first seizure lasted with motion of me swinging my arms back and punching the walls. I look at my knuckles and they're bruised. I'm not okay. I checked to make sure I didn't break his friend's wall because, of course, I was like, I'm so sorry. It lasted over 4 minutes of my motion that he was holding me while I was windmilling to save my life. But it took a full 10 minutes for me to come back around. As someone who worked in medical, I'm now even more terrified. I have never had a seizure in my life. This is abnormal. My second one lasted just as long. We get into the ambulance. He gets me my phone. They plug it in for me because they're great humans. We are headed to Grand Rapids, to the same big hospital that just almost killed me recently. And I looked at the man and I said, after I've told him my whole story, and I said, it's going to happen again. And he said, it's okay. It's okay. I got you. I got you. And I remember my head turning and locking in place. And all I could see is myself in the reflection of the bins that are on the wall. So I am present. And it is the most terrifying feeling I have ever had in my life. I know that I am seizing. I can hear him talking to me. I can see myself. And I just keep willing myself to just stop. Like, are you kidding? Why are we acting like this? Like, just stop. We're being so extra right now. Like, pull yourself together. Stop what we're doing. Chill out for a minute. The guy is like, listen, I need to be able to get this into your IV, and I am not sure how all of this is going on. He's like, but I can see you seeing you. Try to straighten your hand out for me. And so I am like fighting against every fiber of my being to try to straighten my hand so that he can get these meds into me, because I just need to stop being so ridiculous and seizing like this in front of this man. He gets the meds in. It feels like the ambulance is going 1,000,000,000 miles per hour. I feel like we are about to fly off the road. I wanted to yell at the girl who was driving, like, why are you so erratic? Now I realize it was probably just my body. But again, I'm struggling up here, okay? We make it to the hospital. My mother is there waiting because she must have driven 100 miles per hour, but she is there waiting for me in that room when I come back to. And I am so thankful. My ex leaves, goes to work. We'll talk more about him at another point in this story. They sent me to an MRI, and I am laying there. I'm ready. I'm joking with the techs, of course, because again, this is who I am as a person, and my hands are laid on my stomach. That's important. The ball for the emergency is here. They put me back in the MRI. If you've ever had one for your brain, terrifying. They strap me in. I've got these weird things on my head. I literally have a cage over my face, and I am scared. And I feel my hands start to tighten. And I can't get to the emergency ball, so I am like stressing, trying again, fighting every fiber of my being to get to this ball so I can hit it. Just give me a little dink, right? Finally hit it. They pull me out. They're like, girl, you cool? I'm like, yeah, just give me a sec. I just need to regroup. Everything's fine. I have a little pep talk with myself. They send me back to my room. I end up going and getting placed into a room for observation overnight, where a doctor comes in the morning and says, hey, you have Chiari. I'm like, yeah, you're a little late to the game. I heard that. And they say, there's not anything that we can do in the emergency room for that. You have no fluid flow, so like you're going to want to see a neuro, but yeah, there's nothing we can do for you here. We actually need your bed, so we're going to send you home. And there was nothing we could do to convince them otherwise. So they sent me home. Hang in for part 3.